Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. I have a really exciting video for you all, and it's my favorite fall releases of 2022. So all of these fragrances just came out within the past month for the fall season, and the reason I wanted to do a video just on the new releases is because I feel like there actually have been some really exciting new releases this past month that I just fell in love with, and I wanted to make this a top 5 video, but there were really only 3 that I thought were like, wow, love it first smell. And I think that's the stuff that we're really interested anyways, not the stuff that's like, oh, this is nice, but maybe I've smelled it before. All of these fragrances I feel like are pretty unique or filled a gap in my fragrance collection, and I'm very excited to share them with you today. So the first fragrance on this list is actually a flanker, and it's Tom Ford Noir Extreme Parfum. Now, I will say, this doesn't smell radically different from the Eau de Parfum version, but I have to say I do like it even more, and it just came out, and if you watch this channel, you know this is a fragrance that I love, and so I'm always interested when there's a new take or new flanker on it, and I do love this version more, and I needed to share that with you guys. Now, if you own the original, they're not so different. I don't know if you need to, unless you love this fragrance as much as I do, but it is so well done. It takes the original and it just makes it even richer, makes it even more complex, and most importantly to me, it boosts that leather facet. And something that I get in this fragrance in the dry down that I don't get in the original is this Féminité du Bois accord. So there's kind of this cedary plum. It's not mentioned in the list, but if you know Féminité du Bois, you will recognize it when you get to the dry down, and that is another fragrance that is so near and dear to my heart. So to have a little bit of that in the dry down just makes this fragrance exquisite for me. It's the perfect fall fragrance with this Kulfi accord, which is this ice cream that has rose and pistachio notes. So you have this creamy rose pistachio in the heart. There's also vanilla and resins in the base, but again, a lot of leather, which makes it veer almost masculine. It is technically a masculine fragrance, but I think if you like this type of fragrance and you're a woman, it's such a beautiful fragrance that gets so many compliments. I find it to be absolutely unisex, and this version of it is divine, absolutely worth smelling next time you're at a fragrance counter. The next fragrance on this list is Legacy of Petra by Penhaligons. Now, I was really surprised by how much I love this fragrance, because the last time that I was taken away by a Penhaligons fragrance was Halfeti, which I also really liked. But generally, when it comes to the line, I find them very nice, very well done, but not so me. Or they'll be a bit more summer. I like the Favorite, if that's what it's called. Anyways, there are several fragrances in the range that I do like, but not love. I think Halfeti is my only other love of that line, and I also really love Legacy of Petra. It has this licorice green tea going on at the top. Don't be afraid if you don't like licorice in real life. I hate black licorice, but in fragrance it smells different altogether. Licorice notes can also be evocative of certain florals or also red berries. It doesn't necessarily smell straight licorice, so if you don't like the candy, it doesn't mean you won't like it in fragrance. Then at the heart you have benzoin, myrrh, these kind of resinous ambers, and I would say this is definitely an ambery fragrance. And at the base you have vanilla, which I love and adore. But again, with all those other notes, the vanilla doesn't come off too feminine. I think this is absolutely a unisex ambery fragrance, perfect for fall. I really feel like this fragrance wears a bit, and not to sound like too much, but like a nice cashmere shawl. It's perfect for this weather. It's not too heavy. It has refinement. It has elegance. It's light, but it's still warm and cozy. It's a glorious fragrance. I really, really love this one, and definitely feel like it's worth checking out. The last fragrance on this list, When I smelled it, I was truly blown away, and I hope you are too. I think for me, I had been looking for this type of smell for a very long time. Now, this fragrance is Indigo Smoke by Arquiste. It starts immediately with this black smoky tea. If you know tea, you may be familiar with a tea called Lapsang Souchong, and I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it's this black smoky tea that's really pungent but also very elegant. It's been a smell that I've been looking for in fragrances. I think it's so hard to find a true tea fragrances. I feel like this note is claimed all the time, and maybe you can get it in hints there, here and there, but it's rarely the star of the show. And here it's really the star of the show. You have accents of apricot and vetiver, but at the end of the day, it's this incredible black smoky tea. It's exactly what I wanted. The performance is there, the longevity is there, and I was like, I was so happy discovering this fragrance. It's such a great fall release. I also think it just fits so well with the season. I have smelled so many fragrances this past month trying to create this video for you guys, just because fall is my favorite season to wear fragrance. I love fall fragrances. And so I wanted to do at least 2 videos on the subject. So next week I'll do my best fall fragrances, not just new releases, but kind of some of these new releases I loved mixed with other fall fragrances that I've loved for a long time, maybe others that I've discovered since the last video. But I wanted to do all new releases as well. And I was surprised by how many fall releases were still very summery. And so, for example, I smelled the new Francis Kurkdjian 724, which was, to me, this really summery cologne type of fragrance. It was really nice, but it wasn't this immediate love or, oh, I need to buy a bottle, a sample, a decant, because it didn't fit the season for me. To me, it's really more of an early summer type of fragrance, and I'll revisit it then and see if then I'm vibing with it more. It's a really well done fragrance. I just didn't find it fall. Another fragrance that I tried, hoping that, maybe it would be interesting and I could put it in the video, was Uncut Gems by Maurice Roussel. I love the name. I actually am really into gemology as well. I love stones and jewelry and all this type of thing. But it was another really fresh fragrance. Another kind of, I don't know if it's a cologne in style, but it's definitely veering slightly more masculine, more fresh. It actually was really interesting, and I do want to revisit it. And I really love Maurice Roussel as a perfumer. But yeah, not very fall. So these 3 are my picks: the Tom Ford Noir Extreme Parfum, the Legacy of Petra, and the Indigo Smoke by Arquiste. Oh my gosh, such a great fragrance. But all of 3 of these I was really impressed by, and I plan on wearing a lot this fall. So I hope you have all enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've tried any of these releases or any of the other releases, anything that I might have missed that came out this fall. I haven't tried. I know Guerlain came out with a bunch of new ouds that I haven't gotten around to. And if I find that range really interesting, I plan on smelling it soon. I'll do a video on it for you guys, and or just tell you which ones from it I'm vibing with. But yes, please share with me, your new favorite fall releases, or just what you're wearing this fall if you haven't had time to smell any new releases. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.